Today's video is another cutting board. Stick around and check out how we make this cutting board. I'll give you detailed instructions, and this is a simple cutting board that's ingrained and you can do it. If you follow my channel and you've watched, I've made several videos of cutting boards, and I'm here again. I'm making another cutting board, but sometimes I made those designs in them, and they're not difficult to do, but sometimes they can be a little bit challenging or a little scary thinking about using expensive hardwoods like maple and walnut to make a cutting board and not turn out. And maybe you want more than just a plain Jane cutting board that's the same wood, and you don't want side grain or edge grain, you want an end grain cutting board. So I'm going to show you how today you can make a simple cutting board that is end grain and it has a decent looking design that isn't that challenging, and it's only going to take 3 sizes of these 2 boards. So we're going to go to the table saw and we're going to cut these to their final dimensions now and get ready for the glue. We're going, this piece of walnut here is about 22 and a half, and that should be long enough for a cutting board. First cut we're going to make is with the walnut. We're going to cut this at 5 1/4 inches wide. My side has already been cleaned up on my board to where it's got a straight edge, so I'm going to put that against my fins and cut this to the final dimensions. So for our maple, we're going to make 2 cuts on this board. We're going to cut the first one 3 1/2 inches and the second one 1 3/4 inches. This will be more than enough out of this piece. As you can see, I'm making the first cut and then the second cut out of this piece of maple. And this board has already been squared up on both sides because it's a cutoff. For this cutting board, that's all you're going to need. You can see as I lay my pieces out here that these are the same width. The 2 here, the 2 pieces of maple and the 1 piece of walnut are the same width. What we're going to do is we're going to glue them together just like this, and then we'll let it sit in our clamps overnight. You can see I'm using my clamping jig here. You don't have to have a clamping jig. You can use normal clamps. It's not a big deal. But if you're interested in this clamping jig, you can see the video I posted back in February for this. So go check out that video. I'll link it in the description below. Now we're just going to simply loosen our bolts, or if you don't have one of these jigs, you're going to take the clamps off your board. I like to let my cutting board sit at least 12 hours in the jigs, in the clamps. Now, if you don't have a planer, you can sand it. I'm going to run mine through my planer, but you could seriously, if you did a good job lining up your edges, you could sand it and it would be just as effective. And now for me, I feel more comfortable cutting them this way. If you don't feel comfortable cutting them this way, then you should cut them the way I did that first pass. Now, of course, you didn't have to cut your board. You could have used it the way it was and it would have been a really pretty board that way. But if you're wanting to make it end grain, which is what I'm wanting to do, you gotta make another cut on it. So what you'll see me do now is, to get my design, is I'm gonna flip every other one of these. Just like so. Now we need to add glue and clamp them together. So I got my wax paper here. It'll go down first. And don't forget your cutoff pieces. You'll need, if you're using a planer, you're gonna need some sacrificial pieces. And it doesn't take a lot of glue for these. So just put a bead of glue on there. Then we'll put our first piece lined up on that one. That looks like plenty of glue, so now we'll start lining these up and flipping them over. We've got good glue coverage now, so I've already made sure these are lined up straight with each other, and for the most part they are. So now here's where we're going to see lots of squeeze out coming up. So I let it sit for about 10 minutes, and now I'm going to come back and scrape off this glue here. Now we're just going to take this out of the clamps. Now this is totally optional, but I enjoy the round over on all the edges of my cutting boards. Now one of the last things you do, and probably one of the most fun, is you get to oil your cutting board, and that's where you get to really see it pop. This is just normal mineral oil. So you're just going to spread it around and let it absorb as much as it wants to absorb. And I have a container here to contain all of my cutting oil in, so that I can put plenty on there and let it draw in as much as it wants without wasting a lot. I like to use a squeegee to get most of the oil off the top of the cutting board. And then I let it sit for 24 hours. And then I oil it again and do the same process again. And while it's drying, I'll just wipe it off with the paper towel. Then I'll set it up somewhere to dry. Then oil it again tomorrow. So I'm literally in the middle of editing this video and I can't find the outro I recorded for this, so I gotta record another one. So if I find that outro later, I'm going to play it in another video and it's going to be really awkward. But I think you guys will like that. We'd like to do awkward sometimes. But this is how the cutting board turned out. This is after 2 good soakings in the mineral oil. And it's set, it's dried completely. Actually, this has been several months. I mean, it's probably been a month since I made this. It looks really great. I think you guys will like this. So this project is done. If this is your first video, make sure you check out, make sure you click that subscribe button, and you'll be able to see more videos like this and other projects I have coming out. If you like this project, then if you follow me on Instagram and Twitter, you get to see some of these projects ahead of time before they get posted on YouTube, because they're not always posted as soon as I make them, because I gotta find time to edit them and all that good stuff. So make sure you follow me there on Instagram and on Twitter. Thanks again for watching, and as always, y'all will see me next time.